Have you ever noticed people don't visit as often as they used to? Phone calls get shorter? Hugs feel hesitant? What if, without realizing it, you're quietly pushing people away? The truth is, after 65, we all develop blind spots. Small habits that seem harmless, but make loved ones pull back. And here's what no one tells you. They won't speak up. They don't want to hurt you. Today, we reveal 12 things seniors accidentally do that damage relationships and exactly how to fix them. Because growing older shouldn't mean growing alone. Let's begin. Habit 1, neglecting personal hygiene. Let's talk about something uncomfortable but crucial, personal hygiene. This isn't about vanity or trying to impress strangers. This is about the unspoken language of self-respect that either draws people closer or pushes them away without a word. Imagine this. Your granddaughter hesitates before hugging you. Your neighbor subtly steps back during conversations. Family visits get shorter, but no one explains why. The truth? Your hygiene might be sending signals you don't intend. Here's what no one tells you. When you wear the same stained sweater for days, when body odor lingers just a little too long, when nails go untrimmed and hair goes unwashed, people notice, but they won't say anything. Not your children, not your friends, especially not younger relatives who don't want to offend you. Instead, they create distance. They stop initiating physical contact. They avoid sitting too close. They make excuses to leave early. And the heartbreaking part? You might mistake their discomfort for disinterest or lack of love. But this isn't about blame. There are real reasons hygiene slips as we age. Maybe arthritis makes bathing difficult. Maybe depression saps your energy. Maybe you think, at my age, who cares? Here's who cares. The people who love you. Because when you stop caring for yourself, they unconsciously start believing you've given up. And without realizing it, they begin treating you differently. With less warmth, less closeness, less joy. The good news? This is completely reversible. You don't need spa days or expensive products. Small changes make a dramatic difference. A daily bird bath with a washcloth if showers are hard. Keeping a fresh shirt by the bed for easy changes. Using dry shampoo between hair washes. A dab of familiar cologne or lotion for that put-together feeling. This isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's about honoring who you still are, that vibrant person who deserves to be treated with dignity. Because here's the beautiful truth. When you start caring for yourself again, the world starts caring differently about you. Try this experiment. For 1 week, focus on just one area. Maybe freshening up before visits or wearing clean, well-fitting clothes at home. Notice how people respond. Their touches may linger longer. Their smiles may come easier. The energy around you shifts. Remember, your body has carried you through decades of life's adventures. Treating it with care now isn't surrender, it's celebration. And that's a message worth sending to others and to yourself. Habit number 2, speaking without a filter. Let's talk about words. Those little bundles of meaning we scatter like seeds every single day. When we're young, we measure them carefully, afraid of saying the wrong thing, desperate to fit in. But something strange happens as the years stack up behind us. That inner voice that used to whisper, maybe don't say that, grows quieter and sometimes disappears altogether. We tell ourselves we've earned the right to speak our minds. That after 7, 8 decades on this earth, we shouldn't have to bite our tongues anymore. And there's truth in that, but not the whole truth. Because while we're busy feeling liberated, the people around us, our grandchildren, our neighbors, the cashier at the grocery store, they're quietly bracing themselves. Imagine your granddaughter excitedly sharing her new tattoo. Before she can finish her story, you laugh and say, "Why would you ruin your skin like that?" Her smile doesn't vanish. It just retreats behind her eyes. She'll still hug you goodbye. She'll still say, "Love you, Grandma." But next time she gets a tattoo, you might be the last to know. This is how distance grows. Not with earthquakes, but with paper cuts. A thoughtless comment about weight at Thanksgiving. A scoff when your son mentions therapy. That harmless joke about your daughter-in-law's cooking that everyone politely chuckles at while she quietly stops inviting you over for dinner. We tell ourselves, "I'm just being honest," or they're too sensitive these days. But deep down, we know. We remember how it felt when our own parents dismissed our choices. That sting doesn't age. It travels through generations, unchanged. Here's what no one tells you. Every time you swallow a harsh remark instead of letting it fly, you're not losing your voice. You're building a bridge. When you pause to ask, what do you think, instead of launching into another back in my day, you're not surrendering your wisdom. You're making it welcome. Try an experiment this week. Watch their faces. Really watch when your words land like gifts and when they land like stones. See how your grandson's shoulders relax when you say, tell me more about that, instead of that'll never work. Notice how your daughter lingers at the door to chat when the air isn't thick with criticism. The miracle isn't that we get to speak freely in our later years. It's that we finally understand how precious our words really are. That after a lifetime of talking, we can still learn the most beautiful lesson of all. Sometimes love sounds like silence. Habit number 3, wearing clothes that don't fit anymore. There's a certain comfort in routines, eating the same breakfast, walking the same path, wearing the same clothes you've had for years. And there's nothing wrong with consistency. But when it comes to clothing, what once looked classic can, over time, begin to feel careless. You may not notice it yourself, but the way your clothes fit or don't says a lot about how connected you are to the present moment. Pants that hang too loose, shirts that cling too tight, outdated styles from 20 years ago, shoes that have long since lost their shape. These aren't just fashion choices. They quietly send a message that you've stopped paying attention. And while no one will come out and say it, they notice. It's not about following trends or trying to dress like someone half your age. It's about showing the world that you still see yourself as someone worth looking after. When people see an older adult in clothing that fits well, looks cared for, and reflects a sense of self-respect, they feel something instantly: admiration. Think about it. Would you wear the same suit to a job interview that you wore 25 years ago? Probably not. The same principle applies to everyday life. Our bodies change, our coloring shifts, and our energy evolves. Dressing in a way that reflects your current self, not your past, shows emotional presence and self-awareness. Now, I've heard some folks say, what do I care what people think? I'm comfortable. And that's fair, but being comfortable and being dismissive aren't the same. You can be comfortable and put together, relaxed and respectful of your appearance. Even something as simple as upgrading to a well-fitting pair of jeans or choosing a shirt that brings out your natural tones can change the way people respond to you. Not because of the fabric, but because of what it represents. That you're still engaged, still aware, still proud of who you are today. If you're finding this helpful, take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button. It helps you never miss these practical tips. And it means the world to us as we create more content to help you thrive in your relationships. Habit number 4, interrupting or dominating conversations. We all want to be heard, especially in our later years, when we've lived through enough experiences to know a thing or two. But sometimes, in that desire to share what we know or to make sure our point is clear, we forget to leave room for others. It can start subtly. You're in a conversation and someone brings up a topic you've dealt with before. You jump in. You offer a story. You start explaining what they should do. Before you know it, 10 minutes have passed and no one else has spoken. What's tricky about this habit is that it doesn't come from a bad place. Most of the time, it's rooted in a genuine desire to help. But here's the problem. When we take up too much conversational space, we unintentionally silence the very people we care about. And they won't tell you that you're doing it. Instead, they'll start drifting away. Stop calling as often. Keep conversations shorter. You'll feel the distance, but you won't always know where it came from. People want to feel seen and heard, not lectured. And when every conversation starts to feel like a one-way street, it quietly wears down the relationship, especially with younger adults or grandchildren, who already may feel a little unsure of how to connect with someone from another generation. It's not about saying less. It's about listening more. Let there be pauses. Asking more questions than you answer. Resisting the urge to jump with advice unless it's asked for. One of the most powerful things an older person can do in a conversation is to hold back just enough to let others fully express themselves. Not because you don't have something wise to say, but because they need to know that what they say matters too. And here's the irony. The less you dominate the conversation, the more people seek your input. The more you listen, the more they trust you. You become someone they want to talk to, not someone they feel they have to brace for. Habit No. 5. Complaining about kids these days. It starts as a simple observation. You see a teenager glued to their phone and think, back in my day, we actually talked to each other. You hear someone in their 30s making a decision you disagree with and think, they have no idea how the real world works. And before you know it, these thoughts start slipping out in conversations, with friends, with family, even with strangers. You may not realize it, but when you constantly criticize younger generations, it sends a powerful message. It tells the people around you, especially your children and grandchildren, that you're not interested in understanding them, that you're stuck in a time that no longer exists. Now, here's the uncomfortable truth. Every generation thinks the one coming up behind them is missing something. That's nothing new. But when that criticism becomes your default, it doesn't make people see you as wise. It makes them see you as bitter. You might mean it as a joke. You might think you're just pointing out the obvious. But to the people hearing it, especially those under 50, it often feels like rejection, like you're dismissing their entire world, their values, their way of life. And the result? They stop opening up. They keep things light. They avoid deeper conversations because they're bracing for judgment. Even when they love you, they start keeping a part of themselves at a distance. Now, that doesn't mean you have to agree with everything younger folks do. It doesn't mean you have to embrace every new trend or idea. But what it does mean is choosing curiosity over criticism. Instead of saying, these kids today have it easy, try asking, what's it like trying to find your way in this world? Now, you open the door to connection. You create space for dialogue, not division. Your value doesn't come from comparing the past to the present. It comes from bridging them, from being a steady hand that reaches across generations, not the voice that shouts from behind. And believe it or not, when younger people feel respected by you, they listen more. They ask questions. They come to you not because they have to, but because they want to. You become not just the elder in the room, but the one they admire, trust, and turn to, not for lectures, but for wisdom that listens first, then speaks. Habit number 6, ignoring modern etiquette. There's a kind of social awareness that often goes unnoticed until it's not there. Speaking loudly on your phone in public, standing too close in line, playing videos without headphones in waiting rooms. These small behaviors, they can significantly impact how others perceive you. While these might not have been issues decades ago, modern expectations have shifted. What used to be considered harmless now makes people quietly uncomfortable. The tricky part? You may not realize you're doing it. People rarely speak up. They'll just give you a look, avoid eye contact, move to another seat. These subtle breaches of common courtesy send a message. I'm not aware of how I affect others. In public spaces, like the subway, coffee shops, or stores, these behaviors can make others assume you don't care about their comfort. The solution? Observe how people around you navigate shared spaces. Modern etiquette isn't about being uptight. It's about showing you're still engaged with the world and considerate of others. Real-world example. Notice how the young man at the bus stop angles his body to give others space. Or how the woman in the cafe keeps her phone calls short and quiet. These aren't rules written down anywhere. They're the unspoken language of respect in today's world. Try this for a week. 1. In crowded spaces, check if you're blocking pathways. 2. Lower your voice just a notch on phone calls. 3. Offer a quick "Sorry, am I in your way?" if someone pauses near you. You'll be amazed how these tiny adjustments change how people respond to you. Their shoulders relax. Their smiles become genuine because you're speaking their language, the language of mutual respect. Habit number 7, oversharing medical problems. While it's natural to discuss health as we age, constantly focusing on medical issues can drain those around you. The organ recital. Comparing ailments might seem like harmless bonding, but often has unintended consequences. Why this pushes people away. Younger family members feel overwhelmed. Friends don't know how to respond. Conversations become one-sided. Relationships start feeling like caretaking. Healthy alternatives. Balance health talk with other topics. Save detailed medical discussions for appropriate audiences. Focus on what you can still enjoy. Ask others about their lives too. Remember, your life contains more stories than just medical updates. When you share your interests and observations too, people feel more comfortable engaging with you. If you're finding this helpful, take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button. It helps you never miss these practical tips, and it means the world to us as we create more content to help you thrive in your relationships. Habit number 8, being stubborn about outdated beliefs. As we grow older, our perspectives can sometimes become rigid, like trees that stop bending in the wind. What once felt like conviction can slowly turn into inflexibility. You might notice it when new ideas are immediately met with, "That's not how we did it." Social changes are dismissed as just a phase. Scientific advances are viewed with suspicion rather than curiosity. The unintended consequence? Younger family members stop sharing their world with you. They'll still visit, still be polite, but the real conversations, the ones where they reveal their dreams and doubts, those happen with someone else. Here's the paradox. The wisdom you've earned over decades becomes most valuable when you pair it with openness. Try this. When hearing a new idea, say, "Tell me more about that," before responding. Separate your core values from changeable opinions. Remember that being wrong about some things doesn't invalidate your life experience. The goal isn't to abandon your beliefs, but to leave room for others to have theirs. That's how traditions stay alive, by being strong enough to endure, yet flexible enough to evolve. Habit number 9, moving without spatial awareness. As mobility changes with age, many of us unconsciously develop habits that disrupt the flow around us. What feels like moving carefully can actually be creating friction for others. Common examples: stopping abruptly in store aisles to check a shopping list, walking side by side slowly on crowded sidewalks, blocking entire grocery shelves while deciding on an item. Why this matters more than you might think. People make silent judgments about consideration for others. Frustration builds over repeated small inconveniences. You may be excluded from future outings without understanding why. Simple adjustments make a big difference. Glance behind before stopping in walkways. In crowded spaces, adopt a single-file mindset. If you need time to decide, step to the side first. This isn't about moving faster. It's about moving thoughtfully. Your physical presence in the world still sends powerful messages about how you view those sharing space with you. Habit number 10, making outdated jokes. Humor is one of the first things to date us. What got big laughs in 1985 might now fall flat, or worse, cause genuine hurt. The most common offenders: jokes about gender roles, "Take my wife, please." Comments about weight or appearance like, "You look fat and ugly." Stereotypes about any group. Here's why this creates distance. Younger generations have different sensitivity thresholds. What was once just teasing now registers as disrespect. People quietly categorize you as out of touch. Better alternatives: self-deprecating humor about aging, observational comedy about universal experiences, stories where the joke is on you, not others. One test before joking. Ask yourself, is a laugh coming from shared joy or from someone feeling targeted? The best humor at any age makes people feel included, not singled out. And there you have it. 12 habits that might be quietly shaping how others connect with you. But remember, this isn't about criticism. It's about awareness. It's about recognizing that small changes can breathe new life into relationships that matter most. Growing older isn't about perfection. It's about growth. Every day offers a choice: to cling rigidly to the past or to walk thoughtfully into the present with the people you love. You don't have to change everything. Just start with one habit. Notice the difference it makes. Share this with someone you trust: a child, a friend, a caregiver. Let them know, "I'm working on staying open. Your honesty matters to me." Because the greatest gift we can give our loved ones isn't just our wisdom. It's our willingness to listen. Your relationships are your legacy. Tend them with the same care you've given all the beautiful, imperfect years of your life. The best chapters aren't behind you. They're the ones you write together. Thank you for staying till the end. Before you go, if even one of these habits resonated with you, do us a kindness. Tap that like button. It helps others find this conversation. Subscribe for more insights on thriving in your relationships. Comment below. We'd love to hear which habit surprised you most. This isn't just about videos. It's about building a community of people committed to meaningful connections at every age. You belong here. Until next time, keep growing, keep connecting.